So I was pouring a cup of coffee this morning and a news article came across my phone. Apparently, A16Z and the crypto fund is leading or has led a seed round of $32 million for a new company called Plai Labs, who are the owners and operators of Champions Ascension, one of my favorite Web3 games. Now, it holds a special place in my heart because the founders' mint happened very close to my wedding, and I'll always remember going through that whole process. Regardless, there was a couple of articles that came out today, and we want to go ahead and discuss a little bit about them and what they mean for the future of gaming. So let's go ahead and jump in to our first article. Now, this one was released by A16Z and by the team over there. Ariana Simpson has done some really great content online on YouTube. Definitely recommend checking her out and the rest of the team. But they start by saying, within every era of technology, the most talented entrepreneurs have taken unsolved problems and opened questions and turned them into businesses. Today, we have two new computing technologies reaching production scale, AI and crypto. That's why they were thrilled to announce their investment with Plai Labs, which was founded by the team of veterans who previously were founders of the social media platform MySpace and the game studio Jam City. Now, if you're not familiar with Jam City has released some of the largest mobile games like Cookie Jam, Harry Potter, Hogwarts Mystery, and Disney Emoji Blitz. But this new company, Plai Labs, is focusing on a new generation of social platforms by leveraging AI and Web3. Really interesting to keep an eye on this because it's a very specific play within the crypto gaming industry and pretty much a new type of leader with the new technologies that are going to be coming into the market in the next few years. Their first entertainment experience, according to the team at A16Z, is with Champions Ascension. And they pretty much believe that, a future in social networks begins with games, and the best games have strong communities, enticing core gameplay, and robust meta progression systems that together define how players interact and socialize with each other. Web3 games in particular have the opportunity to create the decentralized metaverse of the future with their distributive infrastructures and focus on empowering players through asset ownership. So, do they have a lot of confidence in the team at Plai Labs? Obviously they do. But Plai Labs went ahead and also released their own press release on today's news. And going through it, they have some very interesting key points to bring up that is going to give us a little hint about what they're trying to do and maybe where the space is moving forward towards. So to start off with Plai Labs news article, they came out and they said each successive new advancement in technological development and capabilities of the web has illustrated new and better ways for people to build value and entertainment around digital identities. You've often heard the term Web 1, which essentially means content was published on file servers and the internet was then the thing that allowed you to read the content. In around 2001 with Web 2, you could then read and write to the web. Now, remember, they're founders of MySpace, and they say with MySpace, our goal was to make it easy for anyone, not just coders, to enjoy the benefits of Web 2 capabilities and to have an intuitive space to manifest their digital identities. So we already see here they're going through the ideas of Web 1 and Web 2 and obviously starting to foreshadow what may be coming with Web 3. But they do say that Web 2 and specifically MySpace is what helped to begin social currency. And people like Dane Cook, Bruno Mars, and Katy Perry were quick to unlock the power of the internet and develop huge followings. Entertainment brands then saw the value of these online communities for a fertile place of growth. Interesting how they also note that the evolution of the video game industry from console to mobile made it to where video games were now distributed to mass markets, and gaming then became democratized for everyone. So we kind of see here from the past how they're following these trends, and now we get to the good part, where they start to talk a little bit about Web3 and what it could mean without specifically saying, since we don't know what it is just yet. But they say Players were becoming more, as they were building out games with Jam City, players were becoming more sophisticated and hyper focused on earning and accruing digital goods with power unlocks or even just bragging rights used between fellow players. These goods meant something to each one of them. The badge of success or limited edition character or a limited edition character was real. As long as others could see it and know that they had earned it, it had real value. So they decided to venture forward into Web3 and with their first project called Champions Ascension. They say that every aspect of this gamified metaverse takes advantage of creator tools that we believe will shepherd us into a new interactive entertainment realm. So we see here how MySpace, the invention of social currency, the invention of online communities that could accrue value, is now starting to evolve. And now they're throwing in some additional technology that is just starting to hit the market, and that's AI. They talk about user-generated content platforms that give a paintbrush to every player and developer to bring all of us into a creator economy. They're also seeing the rise of a different type of content creator, one who wields creative prowess by the ability to interact and train sets of data to output images that the world has never seen before. This is human to artificial intelligence. Hand-on experiences marks the moment that the masses see and feel AI for the first time. This is a place where Play Labs is excited to build. And for the last year, they've been running a parallel path developing Champions Ascension, as well as the platform and products that power this social experience, continuing to see AI and generative art not only in games, but also in other types of content creation that we've seen. And if we look back at this past holiday, as they note here, products like Stable Diffusion, DALL-E, and Midjourney helped people and helped spark online conversations for creators to be able to use this new technology to grow. Interesting enough, as I've played through the alpha of Champions Ascension, I've also been able to see how some of this is coming into play. There's some small workstations that you can go to in the game where generative AI art is able to be created if you spend a little bit of their in-game currency. But at the end of the day, they're happy to be backed by partners such as A16Z Games and A16Z Crypto with the $32 million seed round that they received. All in all, from my personal perspective, a couple of questions really come up. The first question is, on a tangible level, how does an investment from A16Z directly benefit the company of Play Labs? How does it create financial freedom and or creative freedom that the team will then be able to execute on? Additionally, when we talk about this creator economy of the future, this Web3 where Web3 technology is prevalent, how will that change the relationship between developers and players or developers and investors? These are questions that we don't know the answers to, and I'm really interested to get your opinions on. But I was lucky enough to get into today's town hall with the development team of Champions Ascension and ask them those very questions. Let's go ahead and jump into a clip of that really quick. How's it going, everyone? Thank you for having me up, and major congratulations on the seed round with A16Z. Super hyped for it.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, just a couple quick questions for you. I'd love to know if you can talk a little bit about the financial and maybe creative freedom that the seed round brings to the team. And, also, we're obviously on the forefront here of the evolution of the video game industry. I'd love to hear from a couple of you about how you think the relationship between the developers and the player/investor base is going to be changing into the future.
Yeah, those are great questions. I think, at the top line level, first question you asked is like, what does this relationship do for us in terms of like accelerating us or unlocking our potential? I think the project even over the last several months, has continued to pursue. Um, we've always had our vision and our goal in sight, and that is not going to change at all. We, have a very good structure that allows us to continue to build on that vision. I think, what the partnership with somebody like, particularly the lead investment VC A16 provides us is it unlocks a lot of relationships for us and advisement, and we're being advised by, and again, you think about who might be a part of that group. We're being advised by, there's nobody on this stage on the development side of the table and the creative side who these are not slouches. My the team before you is very well adapted and very strong. I mean, we're being advised by people now, who have launched games like League of Legends and things of that games in that caliber, right? So I think that's the other thing that really comes with that level of relationship. They're invested in us. They want to see us win. They want to help us get to the promised land, and they're going to help us unlock doors to do that. At the same time, we are going to be still in control of our destiny, and I can't really say much more than that. But on that side of it, I think it only helps us. It only helps us allows us to be more fast and get in front of the right people faster. At the same time, the second part of your question, I think, is the most exciting thing for us. Over the last year as a project, we really have been at the forefront, I believe, at the creative side of things, thinking about what player ownership means in terms of the development process. And I think where everybody else in the ecosystem, and when I say everybody else, I don't mean necessarily everybody else, but a lot of the projects out there that you see talking about this is like, hey, the community is part of the development team, and the community, can build, you just sell them some land and they'll do all the UGC. I think that, a lot of that, and you guys have seen this with a lot of games that allow for this, it's really difficult to make that user friendly and something that can scale well. And certainly there's games and projects that have done this. But for the most part, our approach to it is really the dev team has the expertise to build the game, and we're going to build really fun units. You guys see what we're doing. We're building really fun gameplay loops. We're building really fun gameplay and experiences. Where we find the excitement in blockchain is allowing you guys to become asset holders in those assets, and then giving you guys the tools to build enjoyable, incredibly fun live operational events and curated pieces of content that will exist and you guys will take ownership of. So, what that means generally, and Hyro mentioned a little bit about Maestro Towers and where we're going with that. So if you guys have played, a game like Mortal Kombat, which is, as you know, a huge reference for us in terms of the tenacity and the style of game it is. It's something that we pull a lot of inspiration from. If you guys have ever played the Towers of Time in that game, super cool feature. It allows players to kind of take on different challenges with different sets of circumstances, and there's different buy-ins and different rewards and so on and so forth. The difference between that system and the way that we see it in the blockchain universe, in the Champions Ascension universe, is all of that is controlled by the system holder, right? The team at NetherRealm who builds Mortal Kombat builds all of those events and curates all of them directly themselves and live operates them. And what you see is what you get, and that's what it is. We see a world where we provide you guys the great content and the great shit to work with, and then you guys build those events and you promote them and you benefit from them and you bring players into those experiences. And the more of a robust asset ownership package that you have gives you more tools in the toolkit to accelerate your growth and your potential to gain. And I think that's the most complete answer I can give now. It is something that we're going to get a lot more into as the white paper 2 rolls out little bit by little over the year. But it's by far and away what we see as the true potential in blockchain gaming.
So now that I've had the opportunity to have those questions answered, I think we can summarize them into 2 key points. Number 1, the type of advisement that the teams at Champions Ascension or Play Labs will be getting from A16Z is going to be top tier. They're going to be able to help them throughout the process to be able to jump all of the major hurdles that hopefully will arise over the next few years. Additionally, and more importantly, on the creator side of it, the creator economy, it really does seem like the team wants to focus on the ability for players and investors to use that entrepreneurial skill to help bring value not only to the game, but also to be able to use it to earn for themselves, create good content, lead extremely important tournaments, be able to be provided by the tools that the developer gives you to go ahead and put what the special aspects that you as an individual bring to the table. With that, I think I can understand how the future of Web3 gaming starts to evolve, and it'd be really interesting to see how other projects put these types of things into motion. But if you enjoyed today's content, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Here at Strike Team Games, we're going to do our best to continue to explore the metaverse and the evolution of the video game industry. We will catch y'all next time. Peace out.